everyone. I'm Rebecca Bradshaw. I'm the Artistic Director here at Gloucester Stage. And today I have the pleasure of joining me on this little chats about our season is our playwright for the second show of our season, Wipeout, Aurora Real de Asua, and our wonderful director for the project, Shana Gozansky. So I first want to throw it over to Aurora. This play, Wipeout, you shared a little bit about your own personal history with this play, but I'd love to hear a little bit about the gestation of it and where this idea came from.
I grew up in the Bay Area and mostly in the coast of California in Santa Cruz. And so the ocean has been a huge part of my life. And when I was 11 years old, my mom decided to take a surf lesson. And I kind of went along for the ride. She was like 40 something and she was adamant that she was going to learn how to go surfing. So I went with her and I loved it. And that started this 9-year journey where the two of us essentially learned how to surf together. And then I spent all my summers with my grandmother. And women over the age of 80 are wild. They are wild women and they are uninhibited. And I remember over time, just as I was working in theater, seeing all of these plays where older women played the like doddering Chekhovian woman stitching the handkerchief in the corner. And I looked at that and I was like, that's just absolutely not my experience of my grandmother and her friends throwing each other under the bus, gossiping about each other, going for wild nights together. And so I think both the potency of surfing and what it means to me and what it means to my sense of what it means to grow as a person, combined with my love for my grandmother and how ferocious she and the older women I was meeting were. And the two came together and the result is this play.
Shana, you've worked with us before. You did
Barefoot in the Park.
Barefoot in the Park. That's right.
Yeah.
You did Barefoot in the Park with us. And I'm curious about, since that wasn't a new play, working in a new play, why do you like working on new plays? How different is it from working on more of an established piece?
There is no room for ego. You really are you don't get an agenda. You are purely there to see if the impulses exist from page into action. And it is like surfing to me because it's a way of listening and learning that is fully open to what's coming toward me and how I respond to it. And I just find with new plays, because it almost adds to the liveness of the experience.
Why this story in the ocean? Like, that's such a huge challenge. And Aurora, like, that's, I'm sure producers were like, how are we going to do that? But why this medium? Why theater for this story?
I think there's an expanse that something like surfing allows you to tap into, and to see that on stage and to feel that, to bring that silence and that patience on stage for characters who we don't typically see on stage in that way, I think is pretty radical. And there's a huge part of me that just wants to say, yeah, we're going to put 3 women who are in their 70s and we're going to sit with them and we're going to watch as they crack in front of us and we're going to watch as the ocean erodes away all of the masks that they move through the world with, and we're going to watch that in real time. And I think a huge thing for me in writing this play was leaving huge gaps for the imaginations of others, because for me theater has always been an imaginative practice, and that for the audience as much as for the actors and the writers and the directors. It's like, how can we create an experience that asks you to be as creative and generative as the people on stage? Because a lot of the other media we get is completely passive. And I wanted to write something that invited people in.
I just want to say that I think there is something, one thing we need now more than ever is human connection, like real deep plugging into another person's experience. And as Aurora was saying, when you're sitting in the room, in a dark room with a bunch of people, and you're engaging in this story, even though you are each having your own individual experience, you are so deeply connected to everybody else. And I just find that the fact that we can start from an 11-year-old Aurora watching her mother hop on a surfboard and then end here in this play, we have now like connected through someone's life as we are watching people really sit in the truth of their life. And I just like, what other place? There's no other place where you get the gift of that than theater.
Both of you, I cannot wait to be in a room and be with the gift of this play and get to share it with everyone. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we can't wait to see you at the theater.